Friday, the 1st of November, was World Vegan Day. Most of you do not know much about that at all, but you're now informed if you if you watch this. It's an event that is every year. And yesterday I went along to a cube in Nottingham and helped out to try to encourage people to think more about their diets and to possibly change to a vegan diet in future. It was a rather successful day. Plenty of was going on. It was the way we set the cube up is so that we have TV screens, the 32-inch TV screens that we use, and they are displaying the farm practices, what animals actually go through. So there is some quite graphic detail in what is shown, and this was in Clumber Street in Nottingham, the busiest street in Nottingham, and particularly at this time of the year as it's coming up towards Christmas. It was, and we talked to many hundreds of people, if not into the thousand, that we spoke to. We always speak with as much detail as we can for as long as they can remain with us to actually talk to, sort of thing, just to impart information that for the most part they know nothing about. We're brought up in a society where we're already indoctrinated into consuming animals as though it's just a normal process, a normal everyday thing, when really we should have been considering for many years now, if not sooner, that the animals are here with us, not for us. But still, this event went off really well in spite of the rain that was quite a considerable part of the demonstration. And saying that, I mean, oh yeah, we were out in the cold and rain for nearly 6 hours. We started at 11 o'clock in the morning and finished at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, evening. And it was all really, really well, really good. There's lots of description and lots of things that have to be done, sort of thing. Lots of things. There's so much detail in everything that we do to animals that when we start talking to people, they can bring up one of many hundreds of possible topics about the animals and whatever. We cannot know everything about what happens to animals, but we know a vast majority more than any of the public that comes to us do know. Vastly more. Even for the few of us that know very little, it's still by far more than what most of the general public know. We did really well. When we do the tallies for totals, although we talked to hundreds and maybe into the thousand, we were extremely conservative on considering whether individuals actually considered veganism as their most likely outcome for what they would do after talking with us. So we keep it down to that out of the hundreds that we talked to, that only 66 took the message seriously enough to, we believe that those 66 will actually become vegans. That is a really conservative estimate. We believe that many of the hundreds that we did speak to might go vegan as well. Many of them probably much later or in time, sort of thing, just when they've worked out or seen the information that we hand out to them as well. Because of part of the talk is to inform them, and then we give them a card with many documentaries and medical sort of sites as well to better inform them, so that they can confirm what we are actually telling them at the actual cube itself. So we don't just pass on any information. It's generally what we've already got from the information that is usually on the cards. It was a very good event. Let's say, even though it was rain for most of the time, even the public were out, and that's just. I mean, it's just it was as busy as any normal dry day till it was that busy down there. It is classed as one of the busiest streets in the country, actually, the shopping wise and everything like that. So it was really good to be there. Clumber Street in Nottingham. We will be there again in December. We haven't yet set a date for that. We usually only sort of inform that amongst us who are going to attend. But we will be there again and imparting more information. We will do what we can for the animals, and it will be, for me, my life's work, apart from whatever else I do, obviously running. When I can get back to it again, of course, I'm injured at present. And yeah, well, let's see. That seems to be enough for you for the moment. The organisation I was helping out was Anonymous for the Voiceless, which is obviously to talk about animals who have no voice on farms. They're not allowed any sort of provision. They're not allowed any sort of. So we do have to speak for them, and we speak for them, for their lives, for the conditions they have to live through. We speak for them, and we will continue to speak for them. The whole part of everything to do with what happens to animals is basically very much the same as what we as humans tend to do to other humans too. So there is connections. There's connections for it all. If you're going to poorly treat an animal, you are much more highly likely to treat a human poorly too. So I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll speak to you again next month, or well, whenever I feel comfortable to actually make another statement. I must get used to doing this more often. I should do anyway. And once I do, I might not be so stuttery. Obviously, you can tell that. And it's usually because I'm not thought about what I'm going to say. I've just started to say it. So, and then I'm trying to think of what I'm going to be saying next as I'm going along. So there you go. Well, goodbye for now. I'll keep it nice and short so that you're not too long on actually watching this. Bye for now.